Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keeping you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United like I do on a regular basis. So let's delve straight into the topic. So I am going to be giving you some additional information on Joao Felix. Also, too, I'm going to be talking with you a bit more about Harry Kane, like I have been doing on a regular basis. Also, I'm going to go through with you, of what players I think, should leave Manchester United when the transfer window does reopen. And I'm also going to go through with you what players should stay at Manchester United. So, yeah, there is lots to talk about, but the first topic I'm going to start with is Joao Felix from Atletico Madrid. So, according to recent reports, it's in quite a few media outlets, and this is stemming from League 10 Sport, and they've said that Manchester United have expressed an interest in Joao Felix. Now, I think, we actually are seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho, so if we were to miss out on Jadon Sancho, then, we'll look to try and get Joao Felix from Atletico Madrid. But it's looking very, very imminent anyway, that we're going to get Jadon Sancho, because like I updated you yesterday, he said, we have agreed the terms with the player, the length of his contract, his salary, his bonuses, and his buyout clause has all been agreed. The only thing now we need to agree with Borussia Dortmund is a fee, because we've not yet come to an agreement on a fee with Borussia Dortmund, but we do know Jadon Sancho is going to cost us at least £100 million. But there has been a few, alternatives, just in case we did miss out on Jadon Sancho. Now, don't forget, we have been in for Joao Felix before. I think we inquired about his availability last summer. I think quite a few other clubs have expressed their interest in the player. Now, it does say that we've held internal discussions with his super agent, George Mendes, over possibly, Joao Felix coming to Manchester United. Now, I think he's endured a very, very difficult time with Atletico Madrid, and this is his first season with Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid did pay around €126 million for him last July, which was last summer, and €126 equates to around 113 million in pound sterling. So he's like the fourth most expensive player in the world, obviously, behind Coutinho, Mbappe and Neymar, because Coutinho is the third most expensive player in the world, Mbappe is the second, and Neymar is the first. But yeah, Joao Felix has endured a very, very difficult time in Spain. He has got a contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026, so he's got a long-term contract, because when he signed a 7-year contract with Atletico Madrid. I'm very, very sceptical, that Atletico Madrid, will let Joao Felix go, because it is only his first season and he is only at the age of 20. Of course, don't forget, Atletico Madrid lost Antoine Griezmann last summer. They also lost Diego Godin as well, and lost, I think, quite a few of their other players. Don't forget, Joao Felix as well, was injured earlier on in the season. But Atletico Madrid have had quite a few injuries throughout the course of the season. I thought, Joao Felix was a very, very good player at Benfica. He was only in their senior squad for the year, but he did win the title in his first season with Benfica. I think he also won Best Young Player of the Year, reflecting on his good performances. But he spent several years at Benfica, including the time, when he was in their youth setup, but he only spent one season in their senior squad. Now, Joao Felix's, versatility is very, very good, because, you can play him in you can play him in various positions. You can play him as an attacking midfielder. You can also play Felix as a winner. You can play him as a striker. I think he can also operate as a secondary striker. I think he mainly operates as a secondary striker, in like a 4-4-2 formation. But if I'm right, I think Joao Felix is predominantly an attacking midfielder and that. If he was to, be available to buy, I think I'm going to estimate how much it'd cost. Maybe you could get him for maybe like 60, 70, maybe £80 million. I don't think, Atletico Madrid, would recruit the 130 million, all the £130 million that they did pay for him. But yeah, I just can't see, Joe Felix leaving, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, don't forget, remember last summer when I updated you about him, it said Manchester United were in for the player. And he's very, very young as well. So, like I said, Atletico recruited quite a few players in, last summer. And not only Joe Felix, don't forget they got Thomas Lemar in from Monaco, didn't they? Didn't they get him for around 50 odd million pounds? They also, didn't they get Kieran Trippier in last summer, if I'm right? Yeah, so they did recruit quite a few players in. So, yeah, so that's the latest news on Joe Felix. Now, let's delve into the news on Harry Kane. So, Manchester United, like I said to you before, I'll reiterate what I mentioned before. We are not going to sign Harry Kane when the transfer window reopens. Maybe we could sign Harry Kane in the foreseeable future, which means the long term, but we won't sign him when the transfer window reopens. Now, obviously, like I updated you yesterday night, we are planning to reduce our transfer budget due to the financial impact on the coronavirus crisis. So we won't be able, spend £200 million on Kane anyway. But even if it hadn't been for this coronavirus and that, I'd still been very, very sceptical that Manchester United, would have paid up to £200 million for Harry Kane. And I know we are known for overpaying for players, in recent years because we paid like 89 million for Pogba, 50 million for Fred, 40 million for Matic, 75 million for Lukaku, 80 million pounds for Harry Maguire, etc., etc. But we won't pay as much as 200 million pounds for one player. Now, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker anyway has confirmed, that we won't be spending that much on him, and he's given his overarching view on it. And Solskjaer's actually, said he's happy that we're not spending 200 million pounds on Kane, because Solskjaer does believe in his own perception that Rashford is as good as Harry Kane. This is what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does believe in. Obviously, Rashford has so far spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then, he's become an integral part of our team. And Rashford has been a big miss for us. He's obviously, been out with a back injury, I think, since January the 11th, when we beat Wolves in the FA Cup replay. Solskjaer, of course, made the wrong decision by playing him in that game. But the good news is, when the football season does eventually resume, Marcus Rashford is going to be back in full training and he will be back. I think, in Rashford changing his role because he can play as number 9 and he can play out wide. But I think, actually, Solskjaer prefers Rashford out wide. But I think, analysed it throughout the course of this season, Rashford's got like 19 goals in 31 appearances. And over 60 odd senior goals in over 200 odd appearances for the football club as Marcus Rashford. But yeah, so he believes Rashford's as good as Kane, so this is why he's happy, we're not spending £200 million on Harry Kane. But, like I've mentioned to you before, we've been relentlessly linked with Harry Kane. We've been in for Kane for the last, 5 years or so now we've been in for Kane. The first time we expressed our interest in Harry Kane was back in 2015 under the Louis van Gaal era. Now, we had been actually, given a boost in our pursuit of Harry Kane recently because it did confirm that actually, Real Madrid have, dropped their interest in the player, because Real Madrid have been in for Harry Kane for quite some time. Obviously, Real Madrid are looking to do more transfer business when the transfer window reopens, and Real Madrid recruited a good 5 or 6 players in last summer. And don't forget, Real Madrid have done business with Tottenham before. Obviously, they got Gareth Bale off them back in 2013 for £85 million. They also got Luka Modric off them, didn't they, for around, was it £30 odd million, if I'm right. But, yeah. But, Kane did actually, say his preference would be a move to Manchester United if he was to leave Tottenham, when the transfer window does reopen. But, James Cooper, who's a Sky Sports reporter, and like I said, Sky Sports is a reliable source. He said, that Manchester United are not interested in Harry Kane. That was stemming from him. We could sign him possibly in the foreseeable future, maybe wait until his valuation goes down, but we won't pay £200 million for him. But, basically, Tottenham have offered Harry Kane to Man United, and Daniel Levy, who's the Tottenham chairman, like I said so many times before, he's a hard negotiator when it comes to recruiting any of their players. but he is a very, very good businessman. And I don't know if Ed Woodward's had any negotiations with Daniel Levy, because I think it did say he was set to hold the negotiations with Daniel Levy over Kane possibly coming to Manchester United. But, don't forget, we've done business with Tottenham in the past. We got Dimitar Berbatov off them. We also got Michael Carrick off them, and Michael Carrick endured around 12 years at Manchester United. But like I said, Kane made an admission last month, and it fueled a lot of speculation up, like I've said before. And Harry Kane did say he could decide to leave Tottenham if the team are not progressing, and he said he's not going to stay at Tottenham for the sake of it, because Harry Kane has revealed his ambition, and his ambition is to win silverware. And he hasn't experienced any of this, during his Tottenham career so far as Harry Kane. And he has been at Tottenham for several years. He was in their youth academy for a good 4 or 5 years, and he's been in their senior squad since 2011. And since then, he's become, their third highest goal scorer in their history, highest top goal scorer in their history. He's got like 181 goals in all competitions. Without a shadow of a doubt, Harry Kane is Tottenham's best player, and he has got a contract with Tottenham until 2024. Back in the summer of 2018, Harry Kane signed a 6-year deal worth around £200,000 a week. He's well proven in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, it'd be a great addition to our squad if he was to come in. And it would be one of the most historic, transfer stories if we did sign Harry Kane for £200 million, but it just will not happen. Another element of concern I've got about him, he is injury prone, is Harry Kane. He has been out of a hamstring injury since January. And he's only the age of 26, so he's still in his prime, and he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. Rooney's come out and give his verdict on Kane, and he believes that Rooney believes that Kane will break his England record, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, so possibly, Kane could actually, remain at Tottenham for at least another year and see how it plans out. And if, they're not progressing, Kane could leave Tottenham next year. You've got quite a few pundits that have give their verdict on it. You've had Gary Neville. He believes he'd be a great signing for Man United. You had Roy Keane earlier on this season saying that Man United should go in for him. Harry Redknapp, he's also, said that he'd be a good signing for Man United, but he's urged Harry Kane to remain loyal to Tottenham. So, yeah. But if he is to leave Tottenham when the transfer window reopens, I think he could go to Juventus, because, Juventus have now stepped up their interest in Harry Kane. They'll probably, be planning to play Harry Kane alongside Cristiano Ronaldo in their team. Yes, there will be in that. But Tottenham are basically, looking to ease their financial worries, because like I said to you, recently, they are still paying their £1 billion stadium. They're still paying their £1 billion stadium. I think, like I've said to you, they are around, is it 5 or 600 odd million on the stadium loan, around, is it 70 odd or 80 odd million on transfer fees. Don't forget back in January, Tottenham lost Christian Eriksen to Inter Milan. He was a long-serving player for Tottenham. He endured around 7 years with Tottenham. They also lost Danny Rose. He went out on loan to Newcastle. As you all know, now Newcastle have got the richest owners in the Premier League. I think the Saudi Arabians or something like that. But, yeah. But yes, so Tottenham do want £200 million for Harry Kane. If their £200 million asking price is not met, then, Tottenham, will not let him go, because they do remain ruthless over their valuation. And Tottenham can't win anything in terms of silverware this season. Obviously, they can't win the Champions League. They can't win the FA Cup because they're not in it. I'm very sceptical that they'll get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Also, too, they made a mistake by, recommending Jose Mourinho in. I think they should have kept hold of Mauricio Pochettino. I think Tottenham have been in talks with Mauricio Pochettino over, his 8.5 million salary getting cut, and him possibly, making a return back to Tottenham. But yeah. But there's been a few strikers on our agenda, because, we're looking for an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because, Lukaku left Manchester United last summer. He went to Inter Milan for around 70 odd million pounds, and now Lukaku's doing very, very well at Inter Milan. And, Lukaku endured 2 years at Manchester United, and he scored 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions. Did Romelu Lukaku. What I thought he had an exceptional first season with the football club. but in his second season didn't really replicate what he did in his first season. That we did have element of concerns about Lukaku, such as his first touch, his hold-up play, wasn't very, very good. He was a big game bottler, but still a very, very good proven goal scorer, very good pedigree he had in the Premier League. But yeah, he left last summer, but we didn't get a replacement for him. Also, too, Herrera left last summer. He went to PSG on a free transfer. He enjoyed 5 years at Man United, and we didn't get a replacement for him last summer and that. So I'd say now Kane to Manchester United is off, because Ole Gunnar Solsjaker has confirmed this, and we won't be able to afford Kane and Sancho anyway. To be quite honest with you. But I think we can probably, get Sancho on the board. There's definitely a lot more chance of us getting Sancho than there is of Harry Kane. But like I've said to you before, there's much cheaper solutions than Harry Kane, isn't there? We've got much cheaper solutions than him on our agenda. You've got Timo Werner, that'd be available for around 50 odd million, because that's his actual release clause. Doesn't his release clause expire at the end of this month? Something like that. Erling Haaland, he's a cheaper solution. I think he's got around the 60 odd million pound release clause in his contract with Dortmund, but reportedly that isn't activated until 2022. Also, too, even Raul Jimenez from Wolves, he's been a player, that's been on our agenda. He'd be a cheaper solution than Harry Kane. Aubameyang, he'd be a much cheaper solution than Harry Kane and that. But yeah, Manchester United definitely, need to get a centre forward in. Obviously, I've already given you the news on Odion Ighalo. It's not fully assured that, we're going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Maybe with our links to, the likes of Haaland and Aubameyang and Kane and all that, maybe that's delaying us, getting Ighalo on a permanent transfer. It's already been, revealed how much Ighalo will cost us permanently. He will cost us around £15 million. So that is a cheap solution. But if it had been like 4 or 5 years ago, Ighalo would if it had been 4 or 5 years younger, then Ighalo would have cost us a lot more than £15 million. But we have got him on loan at the moment. His current loan spell at the football club ends on the 31st of May. But he did say, it's likely we'll extend his loan until the 30th of June due to the coronavirus pandemic. And, like I said, we're paying like a third of his wages, because his wages at Shanghai Shenhua were like £300,000 a week. He did say that Odion Ighalo will have to take around a £200,000 pay cut to remain at Manchester United. Come out quite a few weeks ago saying that his parent club, Shanghai Shenhua, they'd offered him around 400 grand a week, plus a 2-year contract extension, to convince him, to turn down a permanent move to Manchester United. But like I've said, Ighalo's a good cover-up to Rashford. And he's a good alternative to Martial, because Ighalo has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career and that. But like I said, we have got a lot of good attacking players, but we still do need a centre-forward in there. So that's all the news on that. So now, let's delve into, who I think should stay at Manchester United and who I think should leave Manchester United. So we'll start with who I think should leave. So the players that I think should leave Manchester United, Solskjaer is planning to get rid of around 5 or 6 players, when the transfer market does reopen. Because I know that we are reducing our transfer budget, but obviously, us getting rid of players, it's going to obviously increase our transfer budget, like I mentioned before. So the players I think we should get rid of, Phil Jones, he's definitely one player that Manchester United should get rid of. Obviously, Phil Jones has been a long-serving player at the football club. Jones is now into his 9th season at Manchester United, and he has enjoyed 8 years here. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure at the club, he has been very, very inconsistent. But we need to get rid of him, because he doesn't even get in the team now. Like I've said, he's like our fifth choice centre half. Because obviously, you've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first choice centre halves. You've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backups. You've obviously got Fossil Mental that can operate as a centre half and stuff like that. So there's no way Jones can get into the team. And he signed a new long-term contract last season. That was a mistake by the club, but we can cash in for Jones. Maybe we could probably get like over £10 million for him. So he's one player that needs to go. I think, we need to get rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer, which I think we will anyway, because obviously, Rojo's like our 6th choice centre half. He's obviously out on loan at Estudiantes at the moment. We loaned him out this year to Estudiantes. I think Rojo did recently say, he's keen on getting his loan extended at Estudiantes by around 6 months. So maybe, Solsjaker or Man United, will hold talks over that. Rojo, I think, enjoyed, was it around 5 or 6 years at the club? Didn't we get him in 2014 from Sporting Lisbon? Marcus Rojo, and he sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, but he won't be coming back. Also, too, I think we'll negotiate on getting rid of Chris Smalling on a permanent transfer. But I think we probably should get rid of him because, again, he's not going to get in the team, is he? Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling's on loan with Roma, and I've got to say, I think he's done very, very well on his loan spell with Roma as Chris Smalling. But it did say the other week, due to Roma's financial difficulties, they may not be able to get Chris Smalling on a permanent transfer. They want to get him on a permanent basis, reflecting on how good he's done and stuff like that. It says if Roma don't fail to qualify for the Champions League, then, Chris Smalling will remain at Roma. It says for us to offload him permanently, we want around £25 million for him. Chris Smalling, of course, endured 9 years with Manchester United. So there's like 3 players, we have still got from the Alex Ferguson era. And, that's Smalling, Jones and David De Gea. But yeah, so, Smalling, should be definitely moved on. I think, we definitely need to get rid of Jesse Lingard. Because, Jesse Lingard has been a liability for Manchester United. And like I said to you, he hasn't registered 1 goal or 1 assist in the Premier League for over a year now as Jesse Lingard. So that just indicates how inconsistent he has been. It was stemming from The Athletic quite a few weeks ago now, saying, that Arsenal had expressed their interest in Lingard. Also, too, Everton had expressed their interest. I think the likes of Roma and Atletico Madrid have also expressed their interest in Jesse Lingard. So, Lingard leaving Man United, will he continue applying his trade in the Premier League, or will he go to Italy, or will he go to Spain? And I think Jesse Lingard's got exactly a year left on his Manchester United contract. But, he spent, the entirety of his career with the football club. And I said, reflect on his status at the club and reflect on the years he's been here. He should be putting much more better performances out. When we've played him in the number 10 or whether we've put him on the right, because that's where he can play, we just can't seem to get the best out of the player. Me, personally speaking, even Juan Mata's a better solution, than Jesse Lingard, to be quite honest with you. But since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes, Jesse Lingard's found game time very, very difficult. I think he's made like 131 appearances and scored 17 goals in the Premier League. And I think we value Jesse Lingard at around £30 million. So he's one player that needs to go. Andres Pereira, same perception on him. Now he's another player that Manchester United do need to get rid of. I've got so many elements of concerns about Andres Pereira, and I don't think he's good enough to become a success at Manchester United. Pereira has been playing regularly. He's been irregular throughout the course of this season, but, the main explanation to that is with McTominay's injury, because McTominay, was injured for quite a while, don't forget. But since McTominay came back, Pereira's found game time very, very difficult. I think Pereira's still got around 3 years remaining on his contract. He's under contract with the football club until 2023. So don't forget, we can cash in for Andres Pereira. So he's another player we need to get rid of. I think we need to get rid of Sanchez on a permanent transfer. But me personally speaking, I don't think we're going to get rid of Alexis Sanchez on a permanent transfer, because it confirmed quite a few weeks ago, like he updated you. He said that Sanchez is refusing to take a pay cut, and obviously no teams, I don't think, can afford to pay his wages off, because, his wages at Manchester United, Sanchez's, are £400,000 a week, potentially, rising up to £500,000, based on, bonuses and image rights. And like I said, his wages, are having a really, really bad effect on the football club. So it did say Sanchez is set to stay at Man United, so he's going to come back to Man United after his loan spell with Inter Milan, and he's going to see out the remainder of his contract, and he's under contract with Man United until 2022, is Sanchez. Solsjaker did say, though, back in January that Sanchez would come back to prove everybody wrong. So some people believe, we need to give him a second chance at the football club. But despite the fact, that we loaned him out last summer to Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. We're still paying Sanchez around 300 grand a week, and I think Inter Milan, paying like the other £100,000. But he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Inter Milan. I think he's only made around 2 starts in the Serie A because obviously I think he's had an ankle injury, something like that, as Alexis Sanchez. But some people believe if we give him another chance, he can rediscover the form that he produced at Arsenal because he enjoyed a good 3.5, 4 years with Arsenal and also produced the form that he did at Barcelona because he played under Pep Guardiola's guidance when he was younger at Barcelona. I think Sanchez, he's predominantly number 7, but he can play in obviously, other positions as well. I think Sanchez, was our last number 7. But yeah, looking like, he's going to be coming back. But if we could get rid of him permanently, that would be very, very good business from the football club. But yeah, so they're the players, I think, Manchester United should get rid of. Now, Paul Pogba, there's a lot of uncertainty, isn't there, over Paul Pogba's future at the moment. We don't know what's happening, with Paul Pogba. Obviously, there's loads of media outlets, reporting on, the saga regarding Paul Pogba. You'll get some media outlets saying that Paul Pogba will be leaving Manchester United, and you'll get some of us saying that, Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United for next year. Now, obviously, the Spanish expert, he came out recently, and he actually, said, that Paul Pogba will sign a new long-term contract at Man United, and he'll become the club's leader. Alan Shearer believes that Paul Pogba will leave in the summer because he believes, from his own perception, that Solsjaker has made a decision, on Paul Pogba's future and stuff like that. And don't forget, Graham Souness has been criticising Paul Pogba persistently. And obviously, Paul Pogba, the other week, responded to Graham Souness's criticism and stuff like that. Paul Pogba was just very, very adamant, that he doesn't recognise Graham Souness and he didn't even know who Graham Souness was and that. And you've had Robbie Fowler urging Paul Pogba, to go watch Graham Souness from 1984. From 1984 and that. But, do you think we should get rid of Pogba? If Paul Pogba leaves Manchester United, I think he'll make a return back to Juventus because I think Juventus does remain his first choice. Don't forget, Paul Pogba did enjoy 4 years, with Juventus. Enjoyed 4 good years with Juventus, but analysing the vast majority of his performances at Man United, they've been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. If he doesn't go back to Juventus, I think he'll make a move to Real Madrid because don't forget, last summer, Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with Paul Pogba. The reason his move didn't materialise to Madrid last summer is because, we wanted around £180 million for the player and Real Madrid were not willing to meet that valuation. Like I said, Mini Raiola, his agent's been talking a lot since the turn of the year and he's got a good relation with Real Madrid. So Paul Pogba, I think, has got a good relationship with Zinedine Zidane. And I think Ed Woodward's had quite a few negotiations with Mini Raiola, to try and stop him making public attacks against the club and to obviously, resolve Paul Pogba's future. Pogba at the moment's got around 2 years remaining on his contract. 1 year, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. And he's on around £300,000 a week at Manchester United. And he's our most expensive signing, Pogba. Don't forget, we paid £89 million for the player. We paid £89 million for the player and that. But yeah, so he's had a long running transfer saga, since he rejoined the club. Pogba has only, played 8 times this season for Man United due to his injuries. And don't forget, recently giving an interview to the United podcast, talking about, the injuries and that he's had. His issues with injuries, and it really, really has frustrated Paul Pogba. But when the football season does resume, Paul Pogba, will be back in full training. So that's very, very good news. I think the last time he started from the start was back in September. And that. But he said, quite a few stuff to the United podcast. He also, mentioned that his mother always told him he would return to Man United because we had him under Ferguson, Pogba, when he was a lot younger, but due to limited appearances, we had to let him go on a 3 transfer and stuff like that. Swap deals have been on the agenda, like I mentioned, in recent weeks. There's been talks of Ramsey coming to Man United as part of a swap deal. Being talks of Ligt coming to Man United as part of a swap deal and that. But yeah, maybe he will stay at Manchester United, will Paul Pogba. So yeah, So now I'm going to delve into, I think the players, who should stay. And there's so many players, that should stay at Manchester United. The 5 players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recruited in, should definitely, stay at the football club. Because Solskjaer, has recruited 5 players in so far in 3 transfer windows and spent around £220 million. And Solskjaer has been at the football club now over a year. So James should stay, Bissaka should stay, Maguire should stay, obviously Fernandes should stay because Bruno Fernandes, like I've mentioned before, is the best player we've recruited in since the Alex Ferguson era. And we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. Bruno Fernandes has just made the difference in the team. Very instrumental, decision making good, won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. So yeah, I've been very, very impressed with Bruno Fernandes. Keep Odin Ighalo because I think he's done very, very well. Keep Rashford. Keep Anthony Martial for now. I don't know if we'll keep him for the foreseeable future though. I give you the news, didn't I, regarding Anthony Martial recently. It says that Inter Milan have expressed their interest, but it's very, very unlikely that we'll sell Anthony Martial to Inter Milan, But I think he will be at Manchester United next year, will Anthony Martial. The only thing we need to do with Martial is find him a permanent position. He predominantly plays out wide on the left, but this season, we have been playing Anthony Martial in that number 9 role. But yeah, I would keep him because before the football season that got suspended, he was in a very, very good vein of form. Martial's on like 16 or 17 goals this season. Definitely no keep McTominay because a lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. And for my own perception, I think McTominay's underrated. I definitely no keep Fred. Fred's underrated as well. Fred deserves a lot of credit because I think this season he has done very, very well as Fred for Manchester United. But back under the Jose Mourinho era, he never really got his opportunities. And I've got to say, Fred was an exceptional player, in with Shakhtar Donetsk. Got to be honest about that. I'd keep Lindelof because I think he's done very, very well alongside Harry Maguire. I'd keep Eric Bailly. My only element of concern about Eric Bailly is that he's very, very injury prone. I think he's too good to be a backup, to be fair. I'd keep Luke Shaw. He has been subject to transfer speculation in the past, but I'd keep Luke Shaw. I know he's sustained a lot of injuries in that, but since he come back from injury, he's really, really hit the ground running. Keep Bissaka. Yeah, probably keep De Gea at least for another season because I think he will remain our number 1 goalkeeper anyway. So yeah, there's so many players, I would keep at Manchester United. Obviously keep the young ones, keep Williams, obviously, keep Greenwood, probably keep Angel Gomez, not too sure about Chong. So yeah, there's so many players, I would keep at Manchester United. So yeah, there's the list of players I would keep. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.